Hey everyone, it's Terry Hansen again with Good Dog Coaching and Pet Care with the next episode of Training Tip Tuesday. This is episode number 5. At Good Dog Coaching and Pet Care, we are a dog training and pet sitting company located in Gwinnett County, Georgia. We service all of Gwinnett for both pet sitting, dog walking, dog training. Sometimes we even go outside of Gwinnett a little further for the dog training. But we've been Best of Gwinnett since 2011, and we love helping people and their pets to just have peace of mind if you're traveling or if you work long hours and you want a worry-free work day. We can come and take your dog out for a walk, burn off some energy, spend some time with them. They get to go potty and all that. If you're traveling for vacation or whatever, we have in-home pet sitting services. And then, of course, for dog training, we do basic obedience and behavioral issues as well. Any breed we can help you with. So today, we're going to talk about basic obedience. I had a question from Carol, and she asked, what's the most important command I can teach my dog? That is a great question. And actually, I really think it's more than one. Basic obedience in general can have a great effect on many behaviors, on many negative behaviors. So for basic obedience, that would include the sit, the down, the place, coming when called, and threshold training. So, and the way that we teach sit, down, and place is with an implied stay, meaning if I teach the dog to sit and not to get up until they're released. So we eliminate the stay command. And we've been doing that for a little while. A lot of people use stay, but if you teach it the way that we teach it, you don't need to say stay. So, and so what do I mean by basic obedience can actually have a positive effect on many negative behaviors? What I mean by that is if you've taught your dog to sit with the implied stay, or down with the implied stay, or place with the implied stay, and so for going forward, sit down and stay, sit down and place all include an implied stay. So if I teach my dog sit, down, or place, and they're really good at it, then let's say I have guests coming over, doorbell rings, I can send my dog to place, and my guests can enter my home without the dog being right there on them. Or if my guests are afraid of dogs or nervous around dogs, or maybe it's the UPS guy or something like that, my dog can't be running up, sniffing, jumping, or doing anything else if they are really good at staying in place. And of course you have to teach them those commands, and they have, you have to teach it to them till they're really good and under all kinds of distractions. But those commands are very effective for things like that. The same thing, if I put my dog in a down, I could put my dog in a down by the door or a sit by the door, and I can let guests in, and she doesn't get up until released. So it's awesome for that. Threshold training means teaching your dog not to go through doorways unless invited. So that can be coming and going through my garage door, the door that between the house and the garage, bringing groceries in and out. She's not the door can swing open and close slowly with the return, and she's not gonna come out unless she's invited to do so. So, and then of course, coming when called, which, we trainers call it the recall. That is an awesome command and can be a life-saving command. And actually any of these could, if your dog is, chasing a squirrel or something like that, and let's say they're headed towards the road, if they've got a really good recall command and you've taught them to come when called consistently, then, you can just, you can recall them, call them back to you. So, heading towards the road, cars are coming, that kind of thing, really important. And, again, ththese are just the basic commands. If you have a dog that's nervous or fearful, of people, and, you have guests coming in your home, again, if your dog is in place, under command in the place command, they can be still part of what's going on. They can be in the room, but, they can just be over there on their place. And you can ask your guest not to not to go near them, just to let them be. And it also helps your dog learn that, you know, just because things are going on around them and people are coming in your home, that they don't have to be as scared or scared at all. They can over time learn nothing bad happens. I'm just over here in my place, and you know, people are just coming and going. They're not approaching me, they're not talking to me, they're not touching me. It's all good. And it can really help them to relax. So those are some really, again, just basic obedience, but just really helpful commands for just living with dogs. And one of the things I recommend when you're teaching your dog these things in the beginning until they get good at them is to leave a leash on them. So an untrained dog should have a leash. You just clip a regular leash onto their collar and they can be dragging it around. Of course, you wouldn't leave it on them if you were leaving the house, but if your dog's not trained when you're leaving the house, then you would most likely be putting your dog in a crate. So you would, of course, take the leash off then as well. But having a leash on your dog gives you access to control. It helps to keep them in your, you know, same space as you. And, you know, so let's say you're doing some sit drills and you do a few drills and the dog decides to get up and walk away. You know, they can't go very far. You got the leash. Especially great with puppies, because we all know how puppies like to run all about, and, you know, they're easily distracted. So it's just a good tool. Also, you know, if somebody opens the door, and you haven't trained your dog yet on thresholds, or they're not really good at it, or they're not really good at any of the commands, you can quickly and easily step on the leash to keep them from dashing out the door. So, you know, again, you take it off if you're not home, you take it off if you're putting the dog in the crate, of course. But it's just a great tool to use. And it's handy. You can pick it up real quick. Again, especially with puppies, if you see them sniffing about and you're thinking, oh, gotta go potty, you just pick it up real quick and you can get them out quickly. They can't run away from you, you know, or sometimes if you go towards them to pick them up really quickly, they, you know, they think you're playing a game and they want to run around. So being able to just step on the leash and then pick it up and get your dog outside quickly is really helpful. So I hope that was helpful to you guys. Get out there and you know, work on your dog's basic obedience. I always say good manners make you nice to know. That goes for kids and dogs and people, grown-ups. So, you know, if you need help with that, give us a call. We'd love to help you with your obedience training. And if you've got questions about this, feel free to post them in the comment section, or you can email us at info@gooddogcoaching.com. Again, that's info@gooddogcoaching.com. And we'd love to hear from you and help you with any questions or things that might be happening in your world with your dog. All right? Hope that helps. Bye for now. See you next time.